So I wanted to talk about why I got arrested 3 years ago. So I was in a mental hospital. Uh, why was I in there, you might ask? Uh, my parents basically sent me there. I hadn't really done anything. Uh, so I guess I should talk about so in 2015 I attempted suicide, and then they diagnosed me with schizoaffective disorder. But I've never exhibited any of the symptoms of that disorder. I simply wanted to take my own life, and then they freaked out and thought I had a disorder. Uh, I don't. At least not that one. I don't know. I don't have a disorder. I had a will not to live. Uh, I didn't want to. I didn't want to be alive because of my own reasons. I was pretty young and stupid too. But anyway, nowadays I'm not suicidal. Uh, and I'll never commit suicide again, or I'll never attempt suicide again. But anyway, that's how I got diagnosed in the first place in 2015. And anyway, but 3 years ago, my parents sent me to a mental hospital, and it was just this big open room, like it was a big open place, and anyway, they tried to inject me with an experimental drug called Invega Sustenna. I didn't even know if it was that drug or if it was something worse because I don't know, they took it out of the box and was like, "Oh, do you want an injection now?" And I'm like, "No." Anyway, so that's why I got up and I beat up 6 people. They called it battery. They called it felony battery. But I just didn't want an experimental drug injected into my body, and I looked at that as defending myself from them injecting me with something that I don't want for a disorder that I don't have. And anyway, nowadays I have to take that drug every month, or they'll send me to the hospital again. And then if I get to another fight, they'll send me to prison. Uh, they were going to send me to prison for 2.5 years, but I ended up taking a plea deal because my mom wanted me to for 8.5 months. And I was set on going to prison. I was like, fine, I'll go. I was like, I'll be all right or I won't be all right, but uh, yeah, I wasn't happy about going, but I was like, all right, I guess if that's what you're gonna do, I don't care. I'm not guilty. But then I took a plea deal and just said, fine, I'm guilty because my mom wanted me to. She didn't want me in prison. So, but I'm not really guilty as far as I'm concerned. Anyway, this seems like a huge corrupt system that we're in. It doesn't just seem that way; it just is. You know, it's just huge corrupt system pumping drugs into people that don't even have disorders. Uh, and don't get me wrong, there's a lot of people who are really weird, who do have some kind of disorder. It's just probably not what they say it is. It's probably just I don't know. I don't really know. I've never experienced any of the symptoms of a disorder, so I don't know. I've never even really been paranoid, and even though even normal people could probably feel paranoid, I've never really even felt paranoid. I felt scared before, like I've been scared in my life, but I've never felt like paranoid. Anyway, uh, yeah. Anyway, I'm hoping that RFK Jr. I hope he reforms the CDC and gets rid of these injections or whatever. He probably won't, but he might. He might do something. I don't really know. There's a lot of people taking pills and taking injections that they don't really need that make them want to die because these pharmaceutical companies and these psychologists are evil as hell, and they're trying to help people that don't need help, or at least don't want help, you know? Like I don't want their help. So, and you might say, "Well, Austin, you attempted suicide. You needed help, and you still need help." I'm like, "No, that was 9 years ago. Like I'm not going to do it again. I'm not going to do it again, and I don't need the help now, you know? It's just crazy. That's like that's like if that's like if you beat somebody up in like I don't know, that's like if you got into a fight in like 3rd grade and because they wanted because you got into that fight or whatever, they wanted to hang you, you know? Like that's crazy. It's a fight. I don't know. Anyway, there you go.